Happy Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova
Let's go,
Mortgage.
baby.
Monday. Yeah, we are really hitting it all this
Loaded
week.
show.
We got a loaded show. We're going to the gridiron. We're going to the hardwood. We're going over to China. We're going to Mexico.
Whoa. China.
Yeah.
Bring your passport.
We're going worldwide.
You don't need a passport.
China. We're going,
There's
you
no
know,
passports
we're hitting the
needed
links.
anymore.
Yeah.
We're hitting the links. So a lot to talk about on today's show. The gridiron, because the 2024 schedule has been released. So make sure you just clear your fall schedule and load it up with some Flames football. But first, let's hit the hardwood. You
Emily,
good?
Oh,
Yes.
Emily, before we get started.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Before we get started, you know, it is Super Bowl week.
Oh, that's right. Is that this week? That's
this
Sunday,
week.
isn't
It's
it? Yeah.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
week. And
Who's in this year?
Matthew, being a big Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Yep.
Right? I felt as if I should do something special for him.
Oh, boy.
So I decided to do a little something special for Matthew to wear during the Super Bowl.
Oh, boy.
What is it, a Taylor Swift shirt?
Oh, look what we have here.
What in the world?
It's an 87
Yeah.
Swift jersey.
Give it to me.
Right
now.
there for
Give it
Matthew to
me.
wear
Here we
during
go.
the Super Bowl.
Put it on
I'll
right
put it
now.
right now. I'll wear it right now.
87
Oh.
I'll wear it right now.
Jersey
This is just for you, Em.
Right there. Look at that. Put
Look at
that
that.
thing on, Matthew.
That's it right here. Huh? Get one of these?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those right there. Yeah. How about
Where
it?
did you get that?
How about it?
Oh, you just go on the World Wide Web. You can get about anything.
I've never gotten a gift from either of you.
Oh, just stop.
so see,
We're-
oh,
it comes back to
It
you.
always comes
It's
back
his
to
moment
Emily.
right here.
It always
It's
comes back
about
to Emily.
time they figured that out.
It all comes back
Look
to
at
Emily.
that.
See,
Oh.
that's
Look,
perfect.
it even says TS.
TS.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I
That's
was like
great.
asking
That's
Matt
great.
if he was watching the end of the, playoff golf and the live golf tournament. He's watching the Grammys. Taylor Swift's on. Did you
Not
see?
true. That's
Blah,
not
blah,
true.
blah, blah,
I've
blah.
not seen the
I'm
Grammys.
like, who watches the Grammys?
That's not. This is beautiful, Joe. Thank you. I'm gonna wear this with pride.
You wear that with
Yeah.
pride.
Yeah. I'll wear it.
Oh,
You're a Swiftie.
my.
He's on.
This
Can't
is
help it.
incredible.
Can't help it.
You know what I respect about him? Own it.
Own it.
Just own it.
Right. Why not?
Whatever. And then, oh my gosh,
She's just
don't
like
get
me. She's
started
just a
on her.
Chiefs fan like me.
She's just a
No.
Chiefs fan. Her boyfriend,
and-
her boyfriend
Right.
is a star football player for the Chiefs.
Right.
You know what
Do
I
you think
saw?
that there's also a bunch of other wives and girlfriends
Absolutely.
that are players for the you cheer for your boy?
Yeah.
What is wrong with that?
Was.
I have no problem
Hey,
with that.
I love this one
You
meme
love love.
that I saw. It's like,
You love love. Right. What's wrong with that? What is however you do that thing? Yeah. Yeah, look at that right there.
that heart looks a little
Boy,
broken.
when he did that, I think that was bad.
Yeah.
That was really bad. My favorite meme that I saw recently.
Come on, Travis, you're better.
Can
than
I
that.
say? Can I
Sorry.
share this real quick?
Share.
I'm
Sharing
sitting
time.
here drinking out of a soggy straw, but Taylor Swift, meanwhile, like flying, because I think she's going to be
From Tokyo.
in Tokyo, and is she going to go
overnight
make it?
on her jet to get to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl?
and so we're all sitting here having to, like global warming.
Listen, we don't have
but
to
then
turn this
she
into
sits
an
here and
environmental-
flies
We're not
all
gonna turn this
across
into
the-
an
Yeah, where are we going
Anyways,
here? You've got to politicize
How
everything,
did the soggy
Emily.
straw?
Yeah.
Oh, the soggy straw is in
yeah,
there.
because we're not allowed to drink out of regular straws because you got to save the earth. Hey, can we talk a little bit about
straws are awful.
They're terrible.
Paper straws are the worst things ever.
ever?
Oh,
But
so
I do
gross.
love me some
So
sea
gross.
turtles.
You ever seen the not trying to get political here, but you ever seen
Oh, boy, anything that comes after that statement.
This is the Thanksgiving dinner table.
You ever seen this out
you ever
later?
seen the bit on Trump when he talks about drinking out of a straw?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Okay,
I'll
So
let's
funny.
look
Look it up.
continue.
It's so funny.
Okay, so Liberty men's basketball. If you were wondering, or listening or watching this podcast about Liberty Athletics, let's start talking about those. Liberty men's basketball. Let's start with the Thursday game. Remember, they were on that 3-game road trip at New Mexico State. Was the second game on the road for them. So this one went into overtime.
Referring to it as the punch game.
The punch game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
I think New Mexico State outscored them like 11 to like 5 in overtime. I don't have that box
10-4.
score.
But yeah, let's start there. You have Shiloh Robinson
What was
knocked
that?
out of the game.
That's
yeah,
right,
that's what
that
we're talking
was
about.
that
That's why
game.
that's why I call it the punch game.
punch game.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like
Oh, I was like,
whatever.
That got him.
Robert Carpenter throwing a punch. First off, like, have you? I was trying to think if I've ever seen anything
I
quite
don't know
like
if I
that.
have.
I don't think I have. There's the famous, like, NBA old school game where, remember Rudy Tomjanovich? He was the coach of the Rockets. But when he
Yes.
played, I want to say he got his, like, face broken, basically, because a scuffle and a guy just turned and he ran on the court and he just hit him. But like in the flow, like there's the malice of the palace and all that stuff. It's kind of outside of the flow of the game.
And really any game that Draymond Green is playing.
Well, that's true. Draymond
is kind of...
He's more of he kicks more than, but like just throw the punch that, for those that didn't see it.
I mean, it was a solid
Shiloh kind of turned there after a rebound turn and kind of like just bumped into him a little bit. I didn't think there was anything there. It was
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I watched it live.
It was a bump.
So did I.
But then Carpenter just,
damn.
And that was, I've never seen anything like that before.
Apparently, Shiloh does have a broken nose.
Yeah.
I
we'll
don't
see how
know
long
if we
he's
know
out.
his timetable. We
No,
should be
we
talking to
don't.
Richie tomorrow.
I mean, he broke his nose on that punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it was.
I mean, it was. Yeah. I mean,
who's ready for something like that? Like you're not like protecting yourself.
I want to know if there's a backstory behind it. Was there something that went like, did this kid just snap?
I think he just
Or
snapped.
Did they have beef from before?
I don't think, because it was so early. Like Shiloh even just checked into the game. Carpenter had only been in 2 minutes. Shiloh had only 2 minutes. I do know that the Robert Carpenter kid went and apologized to Shiloh and Coach McKay later that night. I think he apologized publicly as well. He's suspended indefinitely from the program. So you hope it was just something just snapped, and that's I don't know. Like that's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had those moments where we've. Yeah, I almost killed a man with a pickleball paddle one night, So we've all been there.
You know what? That's a fair point.
We've all been there,
That's
and then
a
you're
very
like,
fair point.
And there's no taking it back.
When I say that he almost killed a man with a pickleball paddle, we're talking
it's not my proudest
3 to 4 inches away from death.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
He almost took a man's temple out.
Yeah.
And that paddle was moving. I mean, Matt's got a good arm. And one thing I've learned about him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a former baseball player.
Yeah.
He's got a good arm, and that paddle was moving at probably 70 miles an hour.
This is what is so smart, to put yourself in a situation similar where you can understand and forgive a guy like Carpenter. I don't know. I mean, if that happened on the street, like, you're going to jail.
Right.
So I am not saying we should just straight up forgive him with no consequences.
Well, he's getting the consequences.
He is.
Hopefully, New Mexico State, it sounds like they're taking it seriously, which they should. And obviously, that video went viral. I mean, it was all over Twitter and stuff that night. But, boy, you feel for Shiloh.
How many games is he going to miss?
Well, that's the question. I don't know. And
does he have to have surgery?
I don't know either. But it's a scene, like, final go-round.
Yeah.
This isn't a team that has tons of depth anyway. Like, just talking about on the court, you kind of need him. And for him to now miss some time, you hope he's able to get back soon, because they're going to need him moving forward.
But
then on top of that,
then
you lose a heartbreaker in overtime too.
Oh.
And credit them, because I said to you, you play that game Thursday, you have another one Saturday on the road at UTEP. I'm like, I don't know if you bounce back from a loss like that. Just the emotional toll that takes.
Intestinal fortitude.
And you know what?
Intestinal fortitude.
They come out against UTEP, and I'm going to give credit to our guy, Caden Matheny. Or as they called him on the broadcast, Caden Metheny.
What?
They called him that the entire first half.
No, I think there was 7 different pronunciations of his last name.
Whatever you call him.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, whatever you call him. 21 points, and you felt like there were stretches in that game where he just said, We're not losing this game. We're not losing this game. We're not losing this game. And that was huge for them to get their first road win and pick that one up. It was dicey down the stretch, 67-65. But think about what this does for them.
50% from threes he was.
Yep, and they struggle the free throw line as a team, which I do want to give credit to Zach Cleveland. Since we mentioned him last week, basically struggling, and he went 0 for 6, he's been really good.
Yeah, because in that New Mexico State, I think he was 11 of 13 or something.
6 for 9 Saturday, 11 for 13 on Thursday from the line.
So I just think that he had a different look in his eyes in that UTEP game as well. Like, he was just attacking the basket every single time he had the ball. Like, you could tell, like, he didn't want to lose that game either.
But what that win does is you go from being down at the very bottom of Conference USA to now Liberty is in 5th in the league.
You know what a positive is, though?
What's that?
What a positive is that Kyle is struggling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kyle's not going to struggle forever.
Right.
It's just not who he is, right? It's not who he is, right?
Yeah.
So but that happens.
Yeah.
You go through stretch where you struggle. So you find a way to win with him struggling like that, and then he starts playing well at the right time of the year, and things. Don't worry. He'll be
You know
fine.
what I do like about that statement is like it wasn't like Kyle was struggling and then he still put up 15 shots. You
That's
know,
true.
like somebody else. You know, we've
He didn't
seen
force it.
Right. He didn't force it in the past. I feel like there have been games, not even calling out Kyle Rode, but just like in general, guys continuing to make shots, which I know that that's what they say to do because the shots are eventually going to start falling. But maybe the other team, you know, some of the other guys on the team like picked up on that and like, hey, we got to go a different direction here. You just don't have it tonight.
Brody
it's not
Peebles.
like
Brody's played well off the bench lately. Double-digit score off the bench for here.
Would you like to see him in that starting lineup?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think he's doing great off the bench like that, and they're going to need him more with Shiloh being out. You're seeing like a little bit of Ben Sutherland here. You're kind of seeing Richie McKay, especially in the first half of these games, be like
he's trying to,
Xander Yates for a few minutes. Gabriel McKay, I think he drew like 3 charges. It felt like he was on the floor the whole game. But like just trying to save his starters just a little for that back half of the game. Because it feels like this team, especially on the road, gets to like that 8-minute mark of the second half, and they start to fade. They start to hit a wall.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're playing a lot of minutes. You had both Matheny and Cleveland both play 35 minutes. So it's going to be interesting, especially with road out, depending on how long, how you kind of do that.
You know what I thought was funny is Xander Yates, who's Creighton transfer, right? He doesn't play a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
But he gets in the game against New Mexico State, and he
Letting it
jacks
fly.
one up, misses, jacks one up. Man, I'm like, oh boy, you're not playing a lot of minutes.
And he finally hit that 3 in the corner.
I think he jacked 3 up.
And I think he hit the third,
Was it the third he hit?
we
But
talked
the
about
first 2 he
this
jacked
Friday.
up, and he missed them. And then I'm like, dude, to have the guts, and it wasn't an easy one. Take that third and nail it.
Yeah.
I respect that.
You know what?
I respect
And here's the
that.
thing. If you're
I don't know if
Xander,
respect's the word.
It's like-
He doesn't have the guts.
it's like this
He has
is
the
what
guts to be able to
you're
keep on
here to
shooting.
do.
Yeah.
If this is your skill set
Then
and
shoot
you're
it.
getting those minutes, let it fly.
Yeah.
Let it fly.
But he never
Like,
hesitated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would feel a little bit more comfortable if some of those were going down before you just
Well,
continue to keep
Thursday
letting
was
it
a
fly.
rough
But,
shooting night,
you know, that goes back to a little earlier in the season when Coach McKay was with the starters and like them wearing, you know, maybe not, I don't know, 35 minutes in the game, we see a little bit of a drop off. But if you're getting, he's not putting some of those other guys in the game in late game situations because he wants his starters on the floor because they have obviously the most experience. So maybe he is trying to get them more minutes in the first half or in situations that aren't as critical as late game.
And I know. It sounds
starters.
like something, you know, Homer thing that you would say. But here we are, Liberty sitting on the year 3-5 in ASUN play. You lost in overtime at New Mexico State. Yeah, in CUSA play. You lost in overtime at Louisiana Tech. They're the best team in this league. You lost by, 2 to Western Kentucky on the road. Like, you're still like, man, it's right there.
Yeah, the gap
It's
isn't
right there.
Okay, so Matt and I were talking about this, how like it's going to be anyone's game come tournament time.
Yeah.
So I will try to remember to put the conference.
Drop in the bracket.
The bracket.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that because when Matt and I were looking at this, the Flames were, I think, in the 8th seed. So that 8th,
before they
9th
win.
is a play-in game where you're going to eventually play the number 1 seed.
You got to stay out of that game.
So you need to stay out of that 8-9 seed
They're
play-in.
not playing in that game.
No, and here's the thing, too.
We're going to win some ball games.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that we're not, but it's just
That's the key,
everyone's
though. You want to stay out of that 8-9
even.
spot. Yeah. The other thing, though, is I don't feel like Louisiana Tech looks like they are the clear-cut top team right now.
Well, Sam Houston.
But no one else does. Like, Sam Houston dropped one on Saturday. Like, and we beat them, obviously, here.
Yeah.
So you don't have that real fear factor of however it falls. If you can stay out of that 8-9 game, you feel like we've got a chance to do some damage. So that, I mean, just looking at the conference as a whole, I feel like Liberty feels like they could still very much are in this and have a chance to still win this conference.
I'd like to know from Richie on what he thinks about the adjustment period from ASUN to Conference USA.
Yeah.
Because like with a different team, not only like without Darius and a different team, and then moving different conferences. Like, and I get a feeling with him and his staff being such good coaches that maybe there's just an adjustment period where they have to figure out what their competition is and how to be able to work that in order to compete at that. And I'd like to know from him, like, have Richie back on the Flame Central podcast.
Or powered by Alcova Mortgage. Or you can go to one of the media availabilities.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be a good one to go to ask that question.
Yeah.
Because that is like very, very true, though. Like how much different is? I know they say that Conference USA is more athletic. You know, correct? Am I right about that? They're more athletic, but I wonder if it's like the way teams play? Is it a different style of play?
I think Zach
is
did
it what
say
like
that
I feel like it's more physical.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of, I know I've heard them say like you get a lot of JUCO guys, you get a lot of guys from like Power Fives that drop down. And so you get a lot of
Maybe
size, a
more
lot more
mature?
physical, probably
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Probably so. Like, heck, I mean, you look at, like, I was looking at New Mexico State roster. They had 3 or 4 guys that this was like their 4th school.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
they've been
crazy.
everywhere. Like, you know, so it's just different. You get some it's old. Maybe it's an older conference, too, because you are getting a lot of guys that aren't freshmen that you're developing, but it's a lot of schools
Just
taking
more mature.
transfers and JUCO guys, so it's more mature, probably. Yeah.
You know what I think is ridiculous is the chatter. I don't follow these trolls by any means, but some of the people saying like Richie McKay questioning him as a head coach and like losing.
It's just so.
You know, this is gonna sound a little aggressive, but instead of sending them a mug like this, we should send them a mug that says, "I'm an idiot."
Oh, wow. This
That
might
did get
sound a little
aggressive.
aggressive.
That got aggressive.
That did get aggressive
might
quick.
sound a little
but
aggressive.
anybody calling for Richie's job,
No,
get
no.
out
Get
of
outta
here.
here.
Get
Get
out of here.
By the way, just an update to the.
We're at least 2 more losses away from that.
Yeah, right. The
I'm putting that on the big screen before his
Yeah.
media press conference tomorrow.
the home team dominance in this conference, which, by the way, I saw somebody, maybe it was a Seabread, put out that it is the Conference USA, the most dominant conference in the nation in terms of the home teams winning. Home teams in conference play 28-7 now in CUSA play.
Crazy.
That's no other
That's the
conference
best in
can
the
top
nation.
that. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
crazy. Let's stay on the hardwood. Scotty James is balling over in China.
63 points.
63
China.
points. And then I think he had like 29 rebounds or 21 rebounds.
The guy
63
is turning into a
points.
legend.
60 points in China?
Yeah.
He's a Chinese legend.
China?
Yeah.
China.
And I don't know if we mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but he and his wife Delaney just gave birth to their 3rd little girl. And the middle name of her is May. I forget her first name, sorry. But the middle name is May, which in Chinese, that means little sister.
Oh,
Isn't that so cute? And beauty or something like that. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, he's balling.
It's super cute. But
Nice career
yes,
he's making for
he
himself.
is crushing it over there in China. So we'll see if the Flames Central budget, maybe the Alcova Mortgage can pitch in. We'll go
wait, we're
over
going to
there.
China?
We're going to
Are you
China.
licensed in China?
I'll do a
Are
Chinese.
you licensed in China?
I'll do a Chinese loan so fast, make your head spin. There's a
He
lot
may-
of Chinese,
Yeah,
too.
that's true.
He
There's a
may
lot
not
of
know
Chinese.
Chinese. He may not be licensed in China, but he is licensed here in
Anywhere you wanna
America.
be.
If you're looking to buy a home, here's your guy.
Yes. Liberty employs alumni, $5,000 real money. It's getting to that time. You got to listen because we're going to save you a lot of money. $5,000 off your closing costs, but up to $5,000, 1% of whatever your loan amount is. So go to alcova.com/liberty.
That is the first time he's
That was
gotten that.
clean. That was really clean.
Nailed
That
it.
was really clean. I might cut that off for you.
Thank you.
To post on
Thank
your
you.
Twitter and social media. Okay, women's basketball is
They're cooking.
hot right now.
Yeah,
They are 5-3, I believe, in conference play, and just took down UTEP
Won 4 straight.
on Saturday. So winners of 4 straight. They will hit the road. Remember, everything flip-flops with women's and men's basketball.
5-3, yeah. They're 3rd place in Conference USA,
Mm-hmm.
and the showdown Thursday night against 7-0 Middle Tennessee. They're the favorite in the
Ooh,
league.
that's right.
So Liberty goes on the road to face them. But yeah, the women are playing really.
Have they
really
played
well.
them once yet?
They
this
haven't
year?
played them yet.
First matchup.
First time.
Love it.
So
Our
that'll
girl
be a big
Emma
one.
Hess. If you missed that conversation, we spoke with
Emma
Emma
Hess is
on
great.
last week's.
Yeah.
I think Joe and her
was
having a
great.
shoot off or
No,
something.
I'm not shooting off there. I know. I'll run the mile before I do a shoot off with her.
Oh, yeah. We've all heard that one before. Yeah, so that'll be a big game on Thursday for the Lady Flames. Hopefully, I mean, that'd
That'd be huge.
be huge. What was our girl, Emma Hess?
Struggle on Thursday.
12
bounce
points.
back on Saturday.
12 points. Asia Boone, I mean, freshman of the week,
She'll
I
be
think.
freshman of the year in the conference.
Yeah.
She's been 6-time freshman of the week in the conference. Yeah,
Nice.
stud.
Yeah.
We have something coming on her, right?
Yep, story coming up on her
Story
on the
coming
TV show.
up on her. Another story coming up on Shiloh Robinson. You know, the McKay family
The
is kind
fans
of
better
all...
chant boo. Do they do that yet? No.
I don't think they do.
No Boone chant.
Yeah,
We haven't gotten a Cooley chant. We
That
haven't gotten a
started to
Boone.
catch on as
It
the
did?
season went on. I'd hear some coolies.
Yeah.
So this next year, hopefully that can really pick up.
All right, we'll talk about football in just 1 second. We also have a McKay family feature coming up. Vincent brothers.
Yep.
Joseph Vincent's brother is on staff, so that's a really cool story. And then Valentine's Day next week. Guys, get your flowers, get your cards.
She really,
don't forget.
For someone that's self-proclaimed, I'm just trying to help out. Day, this is now 2 weeks in a row. She's really
you want something special from Jason, don't you?
No, is Jason watching this? Is this?
Do you guys know about my fake ring? My ring is $5 on Amazon.
Good job, Jason.
Because Jason forgot that he had to get a second ring for our marriage.
You're not.
This, I swear,
the second ring.
The second ring is from Amazon, overnighted.
Yeah.
So
the other one now.
Then
they make those cubic zirconias. They look like the real deal.
I know. So I told Jason, I'm like, this thing's gonna turn green. We're not doing this. And he goes, oh, you're right. We should buy 6.
What is Jason? Do you know what Jason's got planned for you for?
We don't do that. I got him a bunch of stuff. I like giving gifts.
Oh wait, so now you're gonna give him something on Valentine's.
My love language isn't to
and he's not gonna.
gifts.
What,
really? Because all I heard was 15 minutes ago was, I never get anything from you, Joe.
How true is this?
Wow.
The second I give you a shirt, she says, what didn't you give me?
Yeah. I don't care about gifts.
I don't care about
gifts.
Nothing's happening on that.
No.
All right. That's not okay. Anyways, the reason I was bringing up Valentine's Day is because we have a funny feature coming out. We have a bunch of the student athletes giving their best pickup line for Valentine's Day. Joe, what's your best pickup line?
I don't know.
How did you pick up your
my woman?
That's right.
How did I get? I said, here I got it. I said, hey, what you doing? She said, I don't know, nothing. What you doing? I said, I don't know. You want to do something? She said, oh, I'll do something. And then that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was absolutely horrible. Let's talk a little football in February. The 2024 schedule was just released last week, so that's pretty exciting stuff. So let's start off.
Can we run through it?
Yeah, we're going to start off August 31st, first game of the year at home, correct? Yeah, at home. I guess when it's in parentheses and it says Lynchburg, that means it's home. That's how you know. Campbell.
The Camels.
The Camels.
All right, here's my. I'll give you.
We'll be on the call for that one. Won't we?
I hope so. They were 5-6 last year. They hired a new head coach after the season, Braxton Harris, who comes from Houston Christian. Our boy Minter isn't there anymore. I'm not sure where he went.
Did he leave? Or
I don't
did he
know.
Get fired?
I don't know if he left or if they.
You're supposed to be doing research on this stuff too.
On Campbell.
No, here.
That just caught me off guard. I thought Minter was a really good coach.
He was doing pretty well.
What were they like last year?
He resigned.
They were 5 and. You said 5-6.
5-6 last year.
Okay.
Yeah, he resigned. Yeah, it seemed like he had been moving.
I like
that. So that should be.
So that's your FCS game.
Yes.
Right.
Win.
You should win that. All right.
Let's go through this.
Okay, so then September 7th
next week,
at New Mexico State on the road. Remember, Jerry Kill no longer the head coach of the program. Diego is gone. Both of them are at Vanderbilt, which they do play in the SEC against Auburn.
Yes.
Both of them are at Vanderbilt.
Both of them at
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Jerry Kill.
Did he really?
Off-field role, I believe.
He's taking like consulting jobs.
I think so. New head coach Tony Sanchez. He had been the head coach at UNLV, I think, prior to this. So he'll be taking over that program. Yeah, they're going to look a lot different. I know they've had a number of guys that have gone into the portal.
It's been mass exodus.
So we'll see how many guys stuck around. All
right. September 14th at home, you have UTEP.
Yeah.
What do you know about UTEP?
Another team with a new head coach, right? So we start 3 straight games against teams with new head coaches. They were 3-9 last year. Dana Dimmel got fired, replaced by an interesting name in Scotty Walden. Now, people may know he was at Austen P. He was the guy we actually
he prepares for the show.
Remember, we did the Zoom call with him when Southern Miss had let their coach go or he quit. He was taking over, but then he got COVID and couldn't come. Remember? But he is a high energy guy, offensive mind. Like if you go search him at all, like young, he's what schools look for when they're trying to jumpstart a program.
Right.
And he did a pretty good job at Austen P for the last couple of years. And so he's taken over at UTEP, and we'll try to turn them around after what was a really frustrating season.
What was your research on the UTEP?
Win 3-0.
Scotty Walden.
Okay, awesome.
Go ahead.
September 21st, back-to-back home games, hosting non-conference clash against East Carolina.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. They were 2-10 last year, only 1 FBS win. Mike Houston now in his 6th year. He's had 2 winning records. Here's what I want to stop right here, though, for a second, because I've seen a lot of the criticism online when the schedule came out. Oh, another weak schedule. Oh, Liberty doesn't play anybody. First off, and I know we've explained this before, when you move into a conference, your whole schedule that you have planned goes in the trash can because now you've got all these conference games. So you're just trying to hang on to whatever you can. So that messes up the schedule. You're trying to piece it together. But number two, when Liberty scheduled this game with East Carolina, they were coming off an 8-5 season.
Bowl game.
So this at the time looked like, boy, that's a really strong game. Obviously, we didn't know they go 2-10 last year, but at the time when you schedule it, this looked like a really good game. You can't plan for stuff
They'll
like
be
that.
a lot better.
And they will be better. They're not going to be a 2-1 team again. So that's a home game.
Tough game. It'll be a tough game.
Yep.
Because fourth game of the season.
Yep.
It's a win.
Win. Okay, 4-0.
That's the only research that we got coming from Joe Jauch if it's a win or a loss. This is going to be a tough one as well. On the road, September 28th at App State. I have a feeling.
You've seen them. Last couple of years, right?
I called a game at UNC. Yeah, UNC.
Am I allowed to say anything, or is this the podcast by Matt and Joe?
Boy, here we go.
Here's a gift. Should the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage go to Boone?
Oh, that'd be fun.
That's fun. You're eating at the Daniel Boone Inn in Boone. Oh, you'll go rolling out of there. So much food.
What kind of food?
So much food. Fried chicken, ham, biscuits.
That place is. You been there?
Oh, I haven't.
Good.
No,
it's a cool place.
No, I've been to Boone.
Because
it didn't the Forrest Gump loop coming down. What mountain is that? I did the Forrest Gump run.
I was there when Liberty went there and won. Probably 8 years ago now.
Hey.
Jacob Hagan overtime interception to seal it.
Hey, listen to this. You guys will like this story. It would have been 1997.
Yeah.
The Flames, Joe Jauch, assistant coach for Liberty Flames. The Flames are 8-2.
Yeah.
With a shot to make the FBS playoffs.
FCS, yeah.
FCS, sorry. FCS playoffs. Going to App State.
Oh, man.
Right? On the road against, they were ranked like 8th in the country.
Yeah.
I think we were probably like 15th, 16th.
Yeah.
We scored 16 points on defense.
Wow.
Yes.
Whoa.
We had, I can't remember how, we had 2 pick sixes for 14.
And a safety?
And then we returned a safety back. It went into, and then they had an onside kick at the end of the game. And we recovered it, but they called us for offsides or something like it was like we were lined up on whatever. Anyways, we beat them.
Oh, that's great.
Wow,
at App State.
that's
The
a
Flames
great
went.
story.
We go 9-2 and got snubbed.
Held out.
Wow,
snubbed.
that's a
Well, this is
really,
going to be
really
a tough one
story.
this year. They were 9-5. Joe, you saw them. They beat Miami of Ohio in the Cure Bowl. Really good quarterback.
And we got their quarterback.
Well, we got one of them.
One of them.
Yeah, who started the year, didn't finish the year. But so that is, if you're looking for like some of the premier games on the schedule, that one, September 28th, is one of them.
Yeah, that's going to be good. And then remember, CUSA does the midweek thing in October. So you'll go, what would that be? From a Saturday the 28th to October 9th, a Wednesday game against FIU.
Yeah.
So that's at home.
Yeah, and FIU, remember, still same coach, but they were 4-8, 1-7 in CUSA play. So they struggled a year ago.
So that would be what, like October 6th or 5th or whatever, that would be the bye, technically, one of Liberty's byes.
Yeah, like a week and a half.
So it's the byes are sandwiched with FIU. So then there's a bye after the FIU game. So you're playing October 9th at home against FIU, and then October 23rd on the road at new member to the CUSA, Kennesaw State.
They're going to be good.
They're also
the
Owls.
Yeah, they were 3-6 last year as an FCS independent. Although I'm curious to know if they kind of went the Sam Houston route where they kind of redshirted a bunch of guys.
You know who might be there?
Who's that?
Former coach.
Oh, Chris Klinakis is their OC.
That's right.
He's their OC and offensive line coach. Brian Bohannon's still their head coach. Remember, he came from the Paul Johnson, Georgia Tech school, triple option. So he's still there. We saw them, when they were still in the Big South.
That nonsense?
I think so.
All that nonsense.
So that'll be. I know they struggled last year, but they were. A few years ago, they were one of the top teams in all the FCS. So they're a good program.
All right, we're going to wrap this up quicker. October 30th, maybe a little Halloween action there. October 30th, a Wednesday night,
season.
Jacksonville State.
That's going to be good.
Now, my question to you, is Jacksonville State eligible for everything now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Championship game.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so, but I wanted to clarify.
9-4 last year.
So they looked really good last year. They
did.
ended up winning their bowl game in, what was it, New Orleans?
New Orleans Bowl, correct.
New Orleans Bowl. And that was a late victory, I believe.
Yeah, it was late victory. I think they may have kicked a field
goal
goal.
last play of the game.
Yeah, so that's going to be a team that you know is going to
good challenge for
be
sure.
hungry to do some work in the CUSA. Anything else on them?
No.
No? Okay. Then we get back to Saturday play, November 9th at Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, so this is another new head coach in the league. Derek Mason, former Vanderbilt head coach, takes over for Rick Stockstill. Derek Mason, he was Vanderbilt head coach for like 6 years. Last year, he worked as an analyst for the SEC Network. He was also the defensive coordinator for Oklahoma State in 22, defensive coordinator for Auburn in 21. Before that, head coach at Vanderbilt. So we'll see what he can do. They were only 4-8 last year. See if he can turn them around.
I mean, that's like 5 new head coaches.
That's going back to non-conference play, November 16th, Saturday at UMass.
Which, by the way, UMass, we know, was 3-9 last year. I just saw this morning their offensive coordinator, who we spoke with.
Yeah.
He just left to take the Michigan tight ends job. Remember, he and Don Brown, some of those guys, had been at Michigan before.
That's
and
right.
So they're looking for a new
They
OC.
were really good.
And Don Brown has a really weird pinky. Okay, do we remember that?
Yes.
It was like half their coaching staff had pinkies that just like bent sideways.
That was
just bonus. That was bonus. I didn't have that in my notes.
Then we're back at home.
From that, I spotted that on the research.
You did spot that.
Yeah, when I did the research, I asked him about his pinky.
Then back to conference play, Western Kentucky at home. This will be interesting because their quarterback.
This is going to be a good one. Well, he graduated. So they've added quarterback transfer TJ Finley. He played his past year at Texas State, threw for 3,400 yards, 24 touchdowns. He also played at LSU and Auburn before that. So this is his 4th school. But he's a big-time talent. And so they plug him in there, and so we'll see what they're able to do. They do lose their top receiver, Malachi Corley. He's gone. But they kind of had a disappointing year by their standards. I thought they were going to be better.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be good. They're going to be good again. That's a big late season game.
All right, then November 30th, you're on the road at Sam Houston in Huntsville, Texas.
They'll be better.
And then
they'll be better.
Anything on them?
Nah, it's
and
3-9
then
last year.
December 6th, Friday. Hopefully it is the Flames playing in the CUSA Championship.
Let's host it again. Let's just host it again.
That was so much fun.
Williams Stadium Invitational.
Yeah.
But that's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out with all those new head coaches.
Yeah. By the way, Wednesday signing day for football. So we'll find out a lot of the mid-year guys that have been added. So that'll be interesting to kind of see how that shakes out.
When is the portal open back up again?
I think it's an after spring ball.
Stop talking so negatively.
I asked when the portal was open.
I'm just looking at it positive.
Yeah, I'm like,
I think it's after spring ball.
Yeah, like you can pick up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which starts for Liberty on Friday.
Yeah,
Liberty spring ball is like really early.
Yeah,
the spring game is when?
I don't think they've officially announced yet, but it's going to be early March. Yeah.
That's real early.
Yeah.
Matt just seemed like, yeah, it will be good to talk to Coach Chadwell on Wednesday. You know, with spring ball starting, what you said, Friday, Saturday, the 9th. I guess that's how they did things at Coastal. They weren't obviously able to do that last year, so they want to get things done.
It kind of makes sense in terms of like if there are any injuries and stuff, you give your guys more time on the back end to heal up.
Last note, hitting the links, Kieran Vincent. We're going to try to get a conversation. You know what's funny? Kieran is just like,
great guy.
Balling out now in the Live Tour now that he made it. He's on John Rahm's team. Okay, so you go from playing at Liberty, and now you're just playing with John Rahm every day. Like, that is incredible. They put their team together last Monday, and they just won the latest tournament that was down in Mexico.
They divvy up like $3 million or something for winning it?
It's insane.
3-man team or 4-man team?
4-man team.
Yeah.
3 million. Ooh.
I think that's what it was.
I thought it was $4 million, but I don't know. I haven't.
It could be. There's no
I
shortage.
thought it was like each of them get like 1
shortage of money on that
tour.
There's no shortage of cash.
Yeah.
So Kieran was going to join us on the podcast. He was going to join us on the podcast, but he goes, hey, sorry, I'll be on a flight to Vegas during that time. Must be nice because their next event is in.
Don't lose all that money.
Yeah,
did you tell them that?
Lose that money quick.
Yeah, don't put it on black.
You can.
Yeah,
put it on the Chiefs.
Let me put a mill on black.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do that.
No, we do not endorse that.
No, we are not.
We make that clear.
Hey,
that's
so
not in the Liberty way.
Tune into Flame Central this week because we might have a longer form conversation with Kieran Vincent since we weren't able to grab him today. But huge things coming his way. Do we have a mailbag?
Yes.
You can join the show. FlameCentral@liberty.edu. Again, FlameCentral@liberty.edu for any of your comments, concerns, criticism, Anything
Yeah.
you
Did
want.
you watch Pickle Slam last night?
I did not.
That was
Didn't
good.
see that.
McEnroe.
Oh, I saw they were doing that.
That was McEnroe, Agassi,
Yeah.
Steffi Graf.
How would
He
they
was
have
watching
fared?
the Grammys.
How would they?
I know.
To
He's
see
got
How
Taylor
would they
did.
have
Taylor
fared
did,
at the Yacht Pickleball League?
McEnroe's terrible.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't think he's very good.
All right, we're going to wrap this
Agassi's
up.
good.
Okay.
We have a question.
Our buddy Bob sent us a question. He had a lot of questions,
Bob.
actually.
Yeah, we know Bob.
Wants to know a little bit more news about the baseball team. Hasn't heard a lot about them. They keep things pretty tight over in the baseball program.
Scotty Jackson.
We're hoping to have Scott Jackson on here
Scotty
soon, though.
Jackson.
They start up the 16th is their first game, Quinnipiac. You also want to know about softball, how they were going to look, and about Paige Bachman in particular. She was preseason pitcher of the year in Conference USA. I can tell you, Dot Richardson, very high on what we're going to see from Paige Bachman.
Wait, Dot Richardson fired up?
Fired up.
No way.
She says
new.
I don't
Paige has
believe
added
it.
a lot of velocity in the offseason,
That's awesome.
and so she's ready to take it to the next level. So we're excited to see that.
Shout out to the development of Liberty softball because Paige Bachman, I know she pitched, a couple seasons ago, but she was playing a lot of first,
Right.
I thought.
think she's pitching only now. She's
Now
really
only
locking
pitching.
in.
Yeah.
I have one more question. Actually, it's two questions from our buddy Matt. He wants to know, what is our favorite venue on campus to watch a game? And he threw out a couple of suggestions. By the fire pit at a baseball game,
Oh,
in one of the cabanas at football,
Cabana.
or courtside at Liberty Arena.
Oh, I think I'm picking courtside at Liberty.
Yeah,
Arena.
I know that's my favorite spot. Is being
Yeah.
right down there near the action.
I'm gonna go Cabana.
Those cabanas are nice.
Yeah, those cabanas are nice. The kids are out
cabanas
front.
are
They're
nice.
playing. You got the
And I'll tell
TVs
you,
going on.
It's hard to get.
You
It's
know,
kind of like
kidding
the,
me?
It's
Nice
kind of like
fall
the
day.
Charlotte Airport. But if you can find one of those rocking chairs at the
Yes.
baseball game,
That's good too.
that's pretty good.
Oh
but
my
they're tough to
gosh.
get. They're tough to get. He
The
also wanted to
Charlotte
know
Airport
one other question
rocking
from him.
chair.
Charlotte Airport is
I
loaded with
would
those.
have said baseball, but when I brought Stanley, thinking that I could just be on the side by those
No.
fire pits, and they kicked me out.
Yeah, I would kick.
Matt followed up with.
I mean, Stan was on the field, like chasing
well,
and
yeah,
finding
that
the
is a
baseball,
problem.
but
But he's so lovable. Matt wanted to know, Joe, your favorite house to finance: lakeside villa, beachfront house, or mountainside cabin?
Whichever is the largest loan to.
Okay, that's it. That's good. All right, that's pretty simple
my
stuff.
favorite house
Yeah.
to finance.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening or watching to this edition of the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova
go.
Mortgage.
Go Chiefs.
Yeah, keep writing in if there's specific guests
what-
that you want to hear from.
FlameCentral@liberty.edu.
FlameCentral.liberty.
One more question.
Yeah.
One question. Matt, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh my gosh. I'm
The
so
one, isn't there one about like a breakup?
Well, there's a lot
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I heard
That's
that
the
she
one.
endorses the wrong
That's
men
the
all the
one.
time.
Yeah.
For Joe and Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.